Hiya, folks. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season, and in case you're wondering, I just got back from a well-deserved vacation, and I'm ready to start the 2024 season. But it seems like not everything's going to plan. Anyway, we had some issues with the car, and of course, due to the holidays, we also experienced delays in getting the necessary parts. And if that wasn't enough, well, the weather here in Kansas is just not cooperating. So this week, I got nothing for you. Well, almost nothing. In the previous few episodes, we were able to collect some basic performance data from the 719cc Kubota diesel Honda Insight. You know, I pretty much built this car from a pile of parts, and so far I've been lucky that everything more or less works, which ain't too shabby for a custom-built car with only a few hundred miles of testing. Now, this being the first episode of the 2024 season, or Season 4, we're going to start off the new season with a few changes. Let me explain. You see, one of the viewers of this channel sent a very, very special gift to my P.O. box during the holidays. Jason, who's from the United Kingdom, has provided this channel with an awesome tool that we can use to measure performance data on all our future project cars. Now, I'm forever grateful to the viewers that tune in each week and to the viewers that go the extra mile and provide the channel with all kinds of cool stuff. So this thing is a Dragy, and it's a GPS-based performance recorder. Just so we're on the same page, Dragy is not a sponsor, and this is a gift from a viewer. So for that, I'm grateful, because there's going to be some good things and bad things to say about Dragy. Oh, I love the gift, but it doesn't mean Dragy is perfect. So this little gadget works with a smartphone, and what that means is you have to use an app to make it work, and the app sucks, as well as the documentation, which, by the way, is virtually non-existent. And that's too bad, because this thing has potential. Of course, that's my opinion, and as a member of the Gen X crowd, I can say smartphones are not my thing, and I generally stay away from stuff like this. But despite my ignorance, I managed to get this thing to work kind of the way I want it to, but keep in mind, I'm in the business of making videos, as well as building unusual cars, so a tool like this is certainly welcome for measuring performance, but I also need to keep the audience entertained, and the data this thing provides is interesting and entertaining. But it ain't easy. So let's take a look at a test video I shot earlier in the week. Okay, let me stop it here for a moment. Right there is the Dragy, and apparently it's talking to satellites in outer space. Yay, Dragy! Right over here is the standard GPS speedometer that we use for all our performance testing. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I'm shooting this scene with a $40 wide-angle action camera that I got from the jungle site. The Dragy is not compatible with this crappy camera in any way whatsoever, but I was able to strip the data from the Dragy and paste it onto this wide-angle shot. Well, because this makes the shot more interesting. So, stripping the data is done in the video editor, and it's not something anybody can do. You know, I might be a dumbass when it comes to smartphones and apps, but I do know a thing or two about producing a video. Okay, let's continue. So one of the reasons of this test video was to see the difference between the Dragy and the GPS speedometer. And it looks like the Dragy is a lot faster when it comes to updating the speed. So that's interesting. Let's watch the rest. Okay, so here's the performance data that we generated from this acceleration run. Actually, I programmed the Dragy to do custom parameters to measure, but for some reason we got the standard readout. I'll have to look into that. Anyway, let's see what we got. So 60 foot was 3.48 seconds. That's not as bad as it sounds, or maybe it is. Anyway, let's not focus too much on the data. This is just a test to work out the camera angles and to get the Dragy data to display correctly. I think overall, this gizmo will provide the acceleration data we need when comparing different modifications, and this should be interesting when we start fooling with the supercharger. I think I'm going to lower the camera a bit so we can get a better view out the windscreen. I've said a few nice things about Dragy. Now, let me complain a little bit. You know, it seems like every time I use the Dragy app, the battery on my iPhone will die in a few hours. And keep in mind, I'm charging the iPhone immediately after using the app, and for some reason the app continues to draw down the phone battery after the app is terminated. So something's going on. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind, please take a moment and write "Thank you, Jason" in the comments, because Jason has provided our audience with a really cool way to display more interesting data. So stripping the data from the Dragy and overlaying it onto a video recorded with a different camera, well, that isn't easy, and it's done in the video editor. I'm not sure many people would be interested in how this is done, but I'm going to tell you anyway. First of all, the way Dragy is supposed to work is it superimposes the data on the video that's being recorded on the smartphone. Well, we don't want the iPhone video, we want the video from the cheapo action camera. Now keep it in mind, I don't want to spend any money to buy a better iPhone that has possibly a wide-angle lens. So I let the Dragy do its thing and record the numbers on the iPhone, but I tricked it. You see, all I want is the numbers and not any of the other crap that gets recorded. So I 3D printed the special iPhone case, and all this does is block the camera on the iPhone from recording anything except the data. So basically with this custom case, all it records is a black screen along with the performance data. So basically the raw video data looks like this. You get the idea. It's just numbers on a black background. So in the video editor, I apply a mask to the image, and the mask will cover up stuff I don't want in the final video, like this stupid guy right here and some other stuff. Yeah, Dragy ain't a sponsor, so we'll get rid of their name. Anyway, with the mask applied, I can then render the video. Once the video is rendered, I can chroma key out the blue mask, and now I get a video that looks like this. Not very interesting, but you see, I got rid of all the unnecessary stuff. Here, let me put a background in so you can see what we're dealing with. So this is just the data that we recorded from the test. Now these two elements, the speedometer and the performance data, well, I can crop these, move them around, and place them anywhere I want, like in this snapshot of the acceleration test I just showed. Now some of you may be saying, "Jimbo, that's a lot of work." Yes it is. Making videos for YouTube takes a bit of skill, and if you're good with a video editor, well, you can make a dull video more interesting. Anyway, if we take this snapshot and compare it to a snapshot of a typical performance run, you can see the difference. As a matter of fact, this rendered shot is made from at least 7 layers in the video editor, and this ain't an easy video to render either. Anyway, I kinda like the way this one looks with the camera placed behind the driver. I think in the future, this is how we're gonna shoot all our performance videos, and you'll see that in the next video that's coming up as soon as the weather clears up here in Kansas. So the way YouTube works is, I have to release a video every 7 days in order to stay current. Last week I put up a short video. It counts. This week, well, I could skip it, but instead I thought there may be some people interested in what goes into these videos. Now my brother Duke, his wife Cheryl, and a good friend of mine Eric all help out in making these videos, and I seriously couldn't do it without them. But here's something I haven't really mentioned before. You see, I write, direct, produce, edit, narrate every video. Of course, I also have to engineer and build everything as well. So yeah, it's more or less a one-man show, but I do appreciate all the help I get from friends and family. The reason I mention this is, that's a lot of work for one person to do. As a matter of fact, I do more stuff in one episode than most people do in their entire lives. And I do enjoy it, but sometimes I can't keep up with things like bad weather and delays in shipping that can cause major scheduling problems. It is what it is. 2024 is a make or break season for this channel, and I'm doing everything I can to make this channel succeed, so I'm asking for your help. If you're not currently subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's of course free to subscribe, and it makes a huge difference in the way YouTube works. Now here's something you can do to help the channel. Please share my videos so this channel gets more exposure. I'm not really big into the social media stuff, but some people are, and if you can spread the word about this unique channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Well, I hope everybody has a terrific new year, and I'll see you next week with our first official video of the 2024 season. Until next time.